So let's face it, blush is really the unsung hero of the makeup world. Without blush and coffee, how would you even know I was awake before 2 p.m.? You wouldn't be able to tell. Hello, sunshines. So, per request, today I'm going to talk about the wonders of blush, how to pick the right colors for your skin tone, and some of the many different ways that you can apply it. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to talk a little bit about product selection and how to pick really great colors for your skin tone. These are by no means hard and fast rules because you guys should know I don't really like rules. I like to do what I want to do. But this is a good guideline to get you started if you have no idea what colors to choose. So starting with fairer skin tones, you guys are gonna have a really easy time wearing light pinks, light peaches, and light corals. Shades that aren't gonna overpower your face and will give you just a light, healthy flush. And very light skin tones will probably have an easier time going with more pink, cooler tone blushes because it's really easy for warmer shades to come off a bit more orange than what you may be wanting. Some of my favorite blushes for fair complexions are Bobbi Brown Pretty in Pink, Nars Orgasm, which, by the way, this blush works for any skin tone. Anybody can wear it, it's absolutely gorgeous. And the Maybelline Dream Bouncy Blush in Rose Petal are all really good options for you guys. Now for medium skin tones, richer pinks, mauves, corals, and peaches work really, really well. And you do have a little bit more versatility than your fairer complected friends because you don't have to be as concerned about the pigment in the blush overpowering your face and being too bright. Some great picks for medium toned skin are the Urban Decay Afterglow Blush in Rapture, Makeup Forever HD Blush in Peachy Pink, and the Becca Luminous Blush in Snapdragon. And for deeper complexions, fuchsias, berries, warm browns, and raisin tones are gonna look really beautiful on your skin. You guys get to wear all the deeper, brighter pigmented, really fun tones because your skin actually has enough color in it to make it look really beautiful and not be overpowered by the pigment in the blush. Some of my favorite picks for darker complexions are the Becca Luminous Blush in Blushed Copper, which I also do really like for medium skin tones. This blush is one of my favorites. It's so pretty. The Becca Tigerlily Luminous Blush is also really good. The MAC Casual Color Blush in Blind Score. And lastly, a little tip for picking blush is if you want a more natural look, go with a blush that matches the same undertone as your skin. So if you have a warmer complexion, peaches, corals, and warm browns are gonna look really natural on you, while cooler complexions can go with fuchsias, pinks, and berry tones. Mauve is always a good neutral middle ground for people that have more of an in-between complexion. Now you can reverse this tip and purposely pick a blush that is the opposite tone as your skin if you want a bold blush look that's really going to pop. So you've picked your product and you're ready to get going. But before you start applying blush to your whole cheek area, keep in mind that there are tons of different ways to strategically place your blush to get a million different effects. So as follows are just a few of my favorites. But first, for all of those looks, I'm gonna be using just one tool, and that is an angled blush brush. They look like this, with the longer bristles on one end, tapering down to the shorter bristles on the other. This is my favorite blush application tool because the slanted bristles make it really easy to apply the product perfectly along your cheekbones. And I'm using a Sigma F40 large angled contour brush because it's my favorite. It's super high quality and the bristles are super soft. But almost any brand makes a version of this and any of them will work. So my first technique is no more RBF. I'm actually pretty attached to my less than friendly natural resting face. I feel like it cuts down on the instances that creepy men in the grocery store try to talk to me. But if you have a special occasion where you want to look approachable, like, I don't know, work or something, I guess, then this technique will get you there. So the first thing you want to do is find the fat pad of your cheek. You can smile to find it, but then you want to relax your face to actually apply your blush, so that way it doesn't droop once you do have a relaxed face, and you know exactly where you're gonna put it. Then you're just gonna lightly dust the blush up and around the area itself, kind of like a contour or kind of like a reverse baby doll blush, where you just have the blush right in the center of the apples of the cheeks. This is going to create the illusion of fuller cheeks and give a really youthful, happy look to the face. You know, if you're into that sort of thing. Now this next one was always one of my favorite go-tos for brides, but it's perfect for anyone that wants to make sure that their blush isn't going to budge throughout the day. So you're going to want to start with a cream or a gel blush. You can even use a lipstick. Just make sure that you use a creamy formula and blend quickly so the pigment doesn't get blotchy. Then you're just gonna layer a powder blush on top of it to lock it in place and keep your flush all day. Just make sure, since you're using double the product, that you use both of them very sparingly, so that way you don't wind up accidentally overdoing it. Speaking of gel and cream blushes, they are amazing for bringing dry skin back to life. So if you're feeling a little dull, just warm up a little product on your fingertips and lightly tap along the tops of your cheekbones for a dewy, natural glow. I like to do this on top of just a little bit of tinted moisturizer for a really natural, clean look. Do you have a bright blush that you love in theory, but just don't find very wearable once you get it on? Then underpainting is for you, my friends. So this technique is simple and great for those of us that get a little heavy-handed. You just apply said blush, maybe even a little heavier than you normally would, depending on the formula. Whoa! God save me. Then you just apply a little foundation over it to tone it down and make it totally wearable. Okay. Lastly, sometimes it's fun to get a little retro with it. A couple of summers ago, blush draping made a huge comeback, but it's such a pretty look, I'm here to say that I am not ready to let it go yet. With draping, you're basically shaping and contouring the face, but with blush. So I like to use a shimmery shade and then also a darker matte shade. You're going to take the shimmery shade along the tops of your cheekbones and up towards your temple. Now, you can stop here for an everyday look that's really sculpted and great for elongating the face. It's actually my go-to way of applying it. But if you want to dial it up a notch, you can get really fun by running it up towards your eye and even taking it to the next level by dusting the tops of your ears and along your collarbone. Then you're just going to take your darker matte shade under the apples of the cheeks where you would normally contour. And then you just want to blend it in so it's not so crazy. So those are just a few of the very fun things that you can do with blush. Let me know which one was your favorite, or maybe your go-to technique was something that I didn't even mention. Either way, I want to hear about it, and if you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel so that way you don't miss any of the fun that we're having on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Bye guys.